Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie, and The Walking Dead is back. It literally picked up moments after the mid-season finale. It was a huge tonal shift from that high-octane attack. You can think of that episode more as like a Walker buffet, and this episode is like the dessert. A 110-ounce jar of pudding dessert. Quick announcement though, I'm doing a weekly giveaway in all my review videos. It's going to be a $20 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment. I'll just be picking a random winner, and I'll announce that in my Q&A video that I'll post tomorrow. Careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet, but I'm going to start with my top 5 moments, and then I'll do my review. So, everybody grab a spoon and get some of this pudding. Number 5, Michonne eulogizes Hershel. In my mind, she just went back to the prison to see what had happened since that mid-season finale, and happened upon Hershel. She wasn't only looking for him. In a way though, she did give him the final piece that he deserved. It was really touching given what the governor did. Speaking of which, we actually finally saw that gunshot wound. Greg Nicotero actually ended up bringing that animatronic Hershel head to Talking Dead. Remember that time on Talking Dead when Chris Hardwick tried to feed pudding to that dead Hershel head? So wrong. Number 4, Carl almost has to kill Rick. Next to Carl getting buried beneath a pile of walkers, this was one of the most intense moments in the episode, which is why I chose it over the other close calls that Carl had. Watching Carl just break at the thought of having to kill his dad was so horrifying. Rick had actually been making those wheezy walker sounds the entire episode. He was so beat up, he looked and moved like a walker too. This fake out moment was really just the payoff to that. I kept thinking there were walkers just around the corner wherever they were, but it was always just Rick making those sounds. Number 3, Michonne's flashback dream sequence. This was the most beautifully shot scene in the episode. Michonne had really reverted to her season 3 personality, the coping mechanism of just shutting everything down and taking pets. The dream sequence was just her way of processing what had happened, and I don't know what would have happened had she not known about Carl and Rick's footprints. If you didn't catch the reference though, those 2 walker pets that Michonne had at the beginning of the episode were just visual metaphors for Mike and Terry, the men she'd lost. Number 2, Carl finally has it out with a comatose Rick. I think having Rick passed out the whole time sped Carl up to that breaking point where he could just verbalize all the things he was angry about. Yes, he did say some very awful things, but he wasn't actually mad at Rick, at least not in the way he made it sound. He's just expressing all the rage and frustration that's built up over the past 3 seasons. All the friends and family they lost, their entire way of life being destroyed. This has really been my favorite scene with the 2 of them together. They've had a couple moments together this season, but none that were this intense. Just let it out, Carl. Just let it out. It's okay to cry. And my number 1 moment, Carl gets his victory pudding. This was Carl's big moment of triumph, a big reaffirmation. He said "I win" twice during the episode, and this was the 2nd time. Everyone had lost so much that the chalk on the door and the pudding on the roof was just a way for him to take something back, to get at least one big win. I mean seriously, Michonne had this amazing trip, back to reality, but this was really Carl's episode. What is his future though? Is he going to end up turning into someone like Michonne? She did just knock on the door at the end of the episode, and Rick said, it's for you. So clearly he's going to be spending a lot of time with her. It was such an amazing episode though. Let me know what your favorite moment was. As a mid-season premiere, I have to give this a solid A, largely due to Chandler Riggs being so awesome in it, and the deep dive into Michonne, which we haven't gotten in a long time. The story was a direct adaptation of issues 49 and 50 of the comic book too. The story is always informed by the comic, but this was actually a literal beat-for-beat adaptation. Hershel's funeral was a great payoff to the fandom. I had so many questions on my Walking Dead videos since episode 8 about how Hershel would totally be a walker. It's a sentence that's worse than death, so it was really nice to see him laid to rest. Speaking of which, it was really nice to finally get an answer on the governor. A lot of people bet me that he would totally show up as a walker, but when we saw the gunshot wound in his head, we totally got our answer. I was a little disappointed that we did not get to see baby Judith. Robert Kirkman actually said we would get a definitive answer about her very soon. Nicotero actually did imply that we would see the governor again before the season finale, but obviously knowing what we know now, he'll probably just be a hallucination. I can't say enough about the stylistic choices in the episode though. When Michonne was mowing down her herd of walkers, the camera panned out, to reveal this neat little circle. It looked just like the dead Night's Watchman circle that the White Walkers left for Jon Snow during season 3 of Game of Thrones. Great story, great style. It's really going to be hard to top this next week. The good news is that we will pick up with the groups we didn't see in this episode, so I am crossing my fingers we will see baby Judith. Remember, I'm posting my Q&A video for this tomorrow, so ask me any question you want about this episode or the rest of the season. I'll also be announcing the random giveaway winner in that too. After this episode, I am so pumped about the rest of the season though. Right now, click here for my top 10 predictions, and click here for that Q&A video. I'll add the annotation as soon as I post it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.